Happy Friday, boys and girls. My name is Jeffery Scott Mitchell. Coming to you live on Memorex from an undisclosed location, default route. This is my 8th day on disability, off work. One thing I can pretty much say is I put work behind me. I don't think about it. I'm not worried about it. I'm not concerned. Every now and then I think about my coworkers and not quite reaching out to them or just thinking about, yeah, I guess thinking about, not that I'm gonna do it, I should say, not that I would do it, but just thinking about coworkers, should I reach out here, reach out there, or even just to say, what's up? But right now, day 8, I'm not looking back, because I know I'll return. Just trying to get some healing in. And I say that sarcastically, but as I look over the last 8 days, 7 or 8 days, I really haven't had time. I went out on disability on Thursday. Friday night, I'm at my mother's. And the situation or my position of being at my mother's, it's not rest. It's not rest. It's not grueling. It's not work, but it's not rest. You can't really relax completely. You can't. And then, I'm there like this, less than a day after I get less than 2 days after I go on disability, I'm out there. Spend a few days out there, I come back home for 2 days, and now I'm back here again. So I really haven't had time. That's why I was saying, you really gotta be deliberate about your free time. You just can't let free time happen. You gotta be deliberate and carve it out, fight it out, whatever. Battle it out, create that space. So I'm looking to go home tomorrow and looking to 4 days without 4 days to myself, 4 straight days to myself. I haven't had that probably in a long time. And we'll see what I do with it. And black and miles of eating. See where my energy goes. If I go down the rabbit hole, it might be okay. Maybe I need to go down there, get it out of my system. Maybe I need to wallow in it a little bit. Go down to that. It ain't deep dark. Maybe I need to go into that depth of isolation and separation. And go introspectively deep into myself. Maybe I need to do that, I don't know. Sometimes I do it. I've done it in the past where it actually hurts physically. Your body is like, oh my God. You get lazy and you don't want to do nothing. It becomes a bit overwhelming. But, I usually would get my steps, even if I did that. But today, I got on a scale and I was 204.2, whereas I had been 202 something waking up. So I gotta watch that. Not sure what I did yesterday or last night or how that went down, but to wake up today at 204.2, when I was usually waking up at 202 something, 200 something. It's an alert, that's all. So I get here last night, I come in last night. Soon as I walk in the door. No, as soon as I walk in the door, she was asleep. As soon as she woke up. It's like my daughter one time. My daughter was like laying there and she had barely woke up. She was still halfway asleep. What are we doing today? I'm like, you ain't even awake yet. Soon as I walk in there, boom, 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 boom. I did more things for her in the first 10 minutes after her waking up than I have for anybody in the last year. I'm exaggerating, and I'm not used to being that person. I'm very not used to being that person, and I do not like it. I very do not like it. Did you get this? Do this. I need this. Can we watch this? Do this? No. I know it's my mother. I don't care. I don't care who or what it is. I'm just not cut out for that. And I've said that here time and time again. I guess because examples of it keep popping up. And hopefully, or maybe, or possibly me reiterating these feelings will lead me to something. How am I supposed to heal? And I do say that sarcastically and jokingly, but seriously, but it is really healing. Even though I'm making fun of it, that's what I'm doing. Even though it's hard for me to think of myself as somebody who needs to heal, that's what I'm doing. How am I supposed to do that if I'm serving somebody else? How am I supposed to do that if it's the first thing, if I'm awakened to do something for somebody else? Waking up out of my sleep. I'm in the bed, doing my, quiet time, whatever. Jeffery, and I gotta go down there and do stuff for her. It's not on her. It's not about her. It's about the situation, and it's about me. She's fine. What she's going through, how she handled it, she's fine. It's not her. She's just the way she is. Bossy, and just expect everything. I don't know, she's a nurse. So I guess in her mind, she was always serving people. So I think she thinks it's natural for everybody to want to serve other people or something. Like when somebody there, that they're grateful to be there to help her. I'm like, no. Like I guess the same reward she might get from helping somebody, she thinks other people might get. Something like that. No. One time she said, what are you here for? I said, I ain't here to serve you. I'm just here to keep you company. We were trying to work out what my expected responsibility was there. I mean, like I said, it ain't on her. She laying there. All she got is in that room and on TV. So any interaction she gets, it's all gonna be stored up. Here he is. I need this, I need this, I need this, I need this, I need this. And you can do it and you get it knocked out. And, for the most part, you're good for a few hours. But still, I'm just not that. And so I'm kind of looking forward to, we got it worked out to where I go home tomorrow and don't have to come back till Wednesday. Because we got to schedule a rotation to, blah, blah, blah. And it's been a week. And maybe this week, going through this, will end up doing me good. Maybe this is part of my therapy to go through this in the first week and not just drop off into some deep stupor. So, you don't know. You just got to take it dynamically. But it's going to feel good to get back and know that I got 4 days where I probably don't have to look at another human being. You see where that takes me? Where I go with it, what I do with it. Because I'm just not this person. But I guess, and I'm starting to, I ain't gonna say I'm starting to resent it, but I am. I really don't like it. I really don't like it. And being human, you gotta have something to take it out on. And she the one laying there. So, and it may be, and I've been listening to this book about objectivism, and we talk about integrity. And my integrity is the person I'm talking about. I'm just not used to being of service. I'm just not used to this. I'm used to expressing exactly how I feel all the time. I'm not used to being a caregiver or a service person where I keep my feelings to myself and say all the right things, not to hurt nobody's feelings. As far as integrity goes, and me being true to myself, that's not who I am. Why the hell I gotta do this? What's that's what I feel. And if I'm not releasing that, it gets kind of funny, you know? If I'm not actually able to express that, because it's me, and I believe it's me, if I'm not able to express that, you know, that's integrity. That's me not being me. That's me being somebody else. And I really don't like that. I really, really don't like that. To thy own self be true. And you know, I'll go ahead and I do this stuff, but you're gonna get some of this back. You're gonna know how I feel about doing this. We in this together. So, you know, maybe most people in this position would be the bigger person. I'll even admit that I'm a smaller person. Maybe people in this position would be a bigger person and keep their feelings to themselves and make the person who is of service. Ooh, I should have been recording that. I should have had the camera facing forward, that truck flying by like that. Wow. But I'm not. That's not me. That's not who I am. That's not who I am. So once again, we're going through this. And I know a lot of people would be grateful to be in this position. A lot of people have, you know, their parents have passed on and they would relish the moment to, you know, be with their parent again under any circumstances. I understand that. I respect it. But right now we talking about me. And if it's one thing you know about Jeffrey and Jeffery TV, it's always about Jeffrey. It's always about Jeffrey, and it has always been about Jeffrey. And then when I found Ayn Rand's objectivism a couple years ago, or a year ago, however long ago, I ain't gonna say it validated it or affirmed it, but it explains it and puts it in such beautiful theoretical detail and reason and the whole core of basically how I've been living. The structure, my belief system, what I believe in, what I don't believe, concrete reality, integrity, no lying. You have to be 100% true. You can't slip a little bit here and be true. You got to be 100% good. Has to be good all the time. Good has to be good all the time. And that's the way I try to maintain myself, because I don't want to have to look back and say, oh, I did this, and I'll feel bad. I would feel bad. Oh, I told a lie here. I deliberately told someone something that I knew was not true. I would have to look back on that and get over it and let it go by. You know, for some people it's probably easy. Well, I lie every day, they probably say, you know. People probably lie every day. And not only that, in society, it's probably a certain point to where lying is the appropriate thing to do. You're supposed to lie. It's impolite not to lie. That's not me. That's not me at all. And part of the book I'm listening to, Objectivism, stresses things like that. Things in the way I've been living before I even, knew about what they were saying. It's the way I've been living. And it kind of explains to me why. It explains why the practices that I've undertaken are, I don't want to say working or whatever, not working, but it explains how my life philosophy and the practice of my life could work. That's a mild way to put it. You got to hear how declarative this book is written that I'm listening to. It's not written in a passive at all. And I like that. It's written deliberately, and it calls this that, it calls that this. There's no soft coding it. It's like flat out saying if this is evil. There is no could be seen or might be considered as no. It's like if you do this, you're evil. And we understand what evil means. They go through, explain exactly what they mean by evil. Pretty much the same way that I explained it. The other part they came to was the good or bad being subjective based on goals of the individual. There is no universal good or bad. But one thing they did say, and probably better explain, is that there is a concrete objective universe, a reality. There is a concrete, they use the word concrete, objective reality. The situation is our interpretation of that reality. Two people can look at the exact same thing at the same time and come up with two different concepts. Concepts are the lumping in of different experiences that you've had or seen or entities that you have become aware of. Concept is when you take all the trees and say, oh, these are trees. That's a concept. And they go on to explain the terms at the beginning. And then now you build on those terms. And now I'm at virtue. And she's running down what virtue is, and integrity, compromise, all that stuff that I've been talking about. And it's just simply beautiful. It is simply beautiful to hear, to me, because that's how I believe. And I guess all that comes back to, me being in a situation I am now where I really don't want to do it. I really don't want to do it. The phone, a text just came in from the family chat, and the phone's on. I got the phone on because MetLife's supposed to call me. One thing I heard about this disability and paperwork stuff, and the girl at my job that I started talking to, initiated this with, kind of let me know. She kept saying, well, if you need help, just call me. If there's something being held up, call me, let me know. I was like, okay. She said it more than once because I think she understood what it was going to take. And it's been a long time. It's just been a while since I had to deal with bureaucracy and paperwork and state-run institutions and MetLife, big insurance companies. And just the hoops you got to jump through. And I'm like, a couple of times they were like, could you do this? We faxed this over to blah, blah, blah. Could you check on? We don't have the right fax number. I was like, well, I don't either. Ain't that your job? I was thinking in my head. And that was my first taste of it. And I was like, okay, I gotta make this happen. I gotta be proactive to a point, or at least very sensitively reactive to where if something goes, it's not going, you respond immediately. And I have been. I think one of the ladies said, wow, you just went on disability yesterday or something. You just went on disability the day before yesterday. I tell by a voice, I guess it wasn't usual for people to have their paperwork in that quick or whatever, but I know my job is gonna be on it. I'm gonna be on it. And the MetLife phone system, calling my co-worker. See, MetLife, first the state, looked like the state issued a statement saying how much I'm gonna get a week, how much this, how much they gonna pay. That's what the state issued. And what the state doesn't pay, MetLife is gonna cover that to take me up to my full check. And what's I gonna say? The state's gonna pay for that. MetLife, and so you gotta deal with MetLife and their phone system, and calling them back and this and that. I'm sure, again, I'm not putting it on the individual. It's more the system and the process and the bureaucracy. But I forgot what it's like. Dealing with people and paperwork and situations.
Wait.
I have.
Wait.
You just gotta do it, You gotta call this person, you gotta get that person. You gotta find out what this person needs, and you gotta be the go-between to make sure that gets that, because we're talking about your money. We're talking about your money. Like I said, people mess with my money. People messing with my money. So, we doing what we're doing. We're doing what we're doing. And watching the stock market losing 15 to 20% drop in the value of my retirement. I'm not worried about it. I got people watching it. In fact, I probably need to call him just to touch base. We probably need to have a meeting. But we'll see if I do in my next 4 days. I'm looking forward to getting home. Because I came back, I went home Monday. I'm back out here Thursday. I went home Monday night. I was home Tuesday night, Wednesday night, and I was back out here Thursday. So I was home for 2 nights. And, you're home for 2 nights, you really can. You're thinking, oh, I gotta go back out there. And it's this heavy. It's like, oh, I don't wanna, oh, Jesus. I'm supposed to be healing. You're not gonna play that card, but I really don't like being bothered. I really don't. So people may say, well, nobody does. Number one, that's not true. Some people like being bothered. And number two, we ain't talking about everybody else. We're talking about Jeffery. I'm talking about Jeffery. So everything else is irrelevant. Because I'm talking about me. In this point, in case, Jeffery TV, me walking down the street with a phone on a selfie stick, with a microphone on, having my self-therapy, if you want to call it. It's all about me. And I recommend and suggest you do the same. Everyone should have that. Everybody should have their own TV. Everybody should have, even if you don't publish it maybe. Even if you don't put it out there. Create a video diary. And as you start to do it, you'll get more comfortable and you'll find out different things to make it happen. You learn enhancements that's naturally happening. Say, oh, I can do this. Oh, I'm gonna do that. You get better at it once you get comfortable at certain parts of it. You expand once you get comfortable at certain parts of it. And then it becomes what it is over time. Everybody should have time where they just talk about themselves and deal with themselves. Not even beyond self-pride. Everybody should have self-pride. That goes without saying. Even though, again, I know that there's going to be human beings who don't have any, and we need them. There's going to be some people. There's always going to be an exception. There's always going to be an exception. So when I say anything like, people without self-pride, we still need those people. No matter how condescending my voice may sound, and I try not to make it sound that way anymore, because it was a time when I was younger, when I would have disdain for people who didn't quite believe the way I thought they should believe. That's back when I used to call people stupid and dumb. I no longer do that, because I found out that things are stupid and dumb until you find out the core reasoning or the logic or the situation behind it. Once you do that, you go, oh, okay. I understand now. I don't say it's good or bad, because I believe everything is relative. But and in the book Objectivism, they try to break down life to almost a scientific level so that they can actually use the word good and bad. They want to use science to almost create a morality in which they use science where you set goals. They kind of broke it down that the continuance of life, one's life, is the ultimate goal. That's like number one. You can't touch that one. That one is just non-negotiable. And once they put these in place, you can actually set goals. If they try to say the premise that one's life is the most important thing in the world, and they explain and use theory and ideas to explain kind of the best way to execute that life. And once you do that, you can say good and bad. Once you set that goal. But that's where I'll need to do some more reading or understanding, because I'm not quite sure you can have such a determined goal or good or bad, or universal good or bad. That's part I'm still only halfway through, so I'm still, learning it. Just like, I forget what I was gonna say. Just like the other thing. Something stuck on my shoe. It was something else I was thinking. Oh yeah. I used to believe that there's no universal reality, there's no concrete reality, but there is. I used to believe there's no concrete reality, everything's relative. And what I was saying is true, or still accurate, but I need to explain it farther. In that, what I meant was, because of human interpretation, and because the reality, there's a real reality out there. There's a concrete reality. There's definitely, what is, and it is. But how we observe it, if we can observe it, how we process it, is the part that's relative. And so that's where I get there is no universal reality. And the book and Ayn Rand, they say it does come down to each individual's processing of that reality. And it's up to each individual to stick to that reality. Don't deviate from it. Don't delude yourself from it. Maintain an integrity and base your life in reason. They call it reason when you see, what you actually believe in and what you actually see in the such. They say deviating from that is evil. Lying or deceiving. And they even broke it down to like to roughly put they say living a good life or whatever, but behind that good, they explain what they mean by that. So just by saying, by the good, they deeply explain what they mean by that. They're just not throwing it out there. You just gotta go to another chapter. Because good is arbitrary until, like I said, they laid it out what they meant and what they thought. Over there spraying, and he's spraying like it's Friday. He ain't getting out of nobody's way or nothing. He got his truck over there. He's like, I gotta get this done. Y'all need to move. He ain't stopping for nobody walking by. Stay out your way, brother. So we took that trip down objectivism, based on my struggle to perform activities. I was gonna say duties. The other thing in objectivism, duties are evil. No one has any duties. There's no such thing as duty. Duty is sacrifice. Duty means sacrifice, giving up something for something else. Now trading is different. Now if me and you sit down and I trade something important to me for this, and you give me something in fair exchange, that's different. That's not compromise. Compromise is when, my value or integrity, or I'm in a situation where I don't get back a fair amount. Of course, fair is relative. But some of these terms you just gotta take in a general sense so that the person doesn't have to take a whole chapter to explain it. Duty to country. It's your duty to, no. Duty is evil. The only duty you have is to yourself. And that may not even be the right way to put it. That may be misusing the definition of duty. Duty you can't choose. I think that's a good way to put it. Duty you can't choose. You're obligated out of just situation, who you are, blah, 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 blah. Now I'm listening to this stuff they saying, and I just point after point after point, write down the same that I've been thinking for years, thinking and feeling for years. I think I ran into objectivism about 2 years ago, maybe a year and a half, 2 years ago, whenever. And I'm still going into it, looking into it. And just like when I found Parliament, you know, over time, you keep checking out the philosophy and you keep studying it. You keep researching and studying to see if there's anything that you strongly disagree with, or something that you just don't understand, or something that still makes sense. And with Parliament, that never happened. I watched them albums, and them albums came up, the concept, the wording, if there was any contradictions. If they said something I didn't like, I mean, to put it crudely, something that was quote unquote wrong in my eyes, something that didn't make sense or something that didn't fit, I can't really think of nothing. And then Parliament records, from Mothership Connection to Trombipulation. And just with objectivism, same thing, studying, looking at the words, the concepts, the ideas, and trying to see, you know, how it holds together, how consistent it is. Consistency is the word. Same way with P-Funk, consistency. That's very important to me. That's very important to me. Consistency and integrity. Because I don't be wearing nothing on my back. The only thing you'll see me wearing is P-Funk, maybe LA Maggots and Steelers, and Jeffery TV. I don't even try to wear brand names. It's the way I go. With that Steeler jersey, that was my ultimate prized possession for a long time. Now I guess my ultimate possession is my data. My data is my most prized possession now. My data. That's why I back it up and take care of it, protect it. About maybe 10, 15, whatever, how many years ago, I lost data and it hurt. It hurt so bad, I vowed this ain't gonna happen again. That's when I got a system. Start backing it up, backing this up, backing that up. In case something gets stolen or broken or a drive break, I'm covered. So I can go to sleep at night, knowing if this was to happen, I got that over there. If that was to happen, I got this over there. Last time I lost data, I was in the hospital. It was a P-Funk concert in Petaluma. I was in the hospital. I took pictures of myself in the hospital, and they were on my phone, I think. I forget, but I put them on my, I think I had to clear up space on my phone. So I downloaded, I was running out of space. So I downloaded them to my computer, but I didn't back them up. They was only on the computer, and the computer got stolen. But you know, the drive was encrypted. So I doubt if, you know, I say doubt in a very passive way that anybody would be able to get access to it, because it was encrypted with a pretty damn good password. And I think I said brute force decryption would take 20 years or something on a password of that length, something like that. That length and complexity. And I remember, and it was only a few pictures, but still it hurt. Because what I was gonna do, and what I should have did was back up the pictures to a SD card, and then put the SD card carry the SD card in my wallet, and have 2 copies. Always have 2 copies is the idea. And I didn't, and I figured, oh, it's only a few, whatever happened. Sure enough, laptop got stolen. It's only a few pictures, what's it that much? But before, I lost a lot of data that I had from years that I never get back. Pictures and video, they're gone forever. It hurt. I should try to make this. I am. They ain't turning yellow yet, so I got time. Oh, it's a long light. Okay, good. Now I turn yellow, but I'm already there. So, yeah, being woken up to do something for somebody else, that's not me. That's not me. That is not me. And I'm unapologetic, nor remorseful. Or do I regret it? No. That's not me. That's what comes back into duty. A lot of human beings say that's your duty. As a human being, that's your duty. That's your mother. That's your duty. Nope. Not the way I believe. So, here we are. Here we are on a Friday. And it's a Friday, and I'm like, so what? Actually, I should go out tonight, but I just don't feel like it. I really just don't feel like it. I know I should go. And from here to go and come back would be possible, as opposed to if I was at home, go down to Seal Beach, see Oli's band. It's easier from out here than it would be from, where I live at. And also, Mr. Curry doing something on Saturday or Sunday in San Diego. Maybe I'll go down there Saturday, get a room. Stay a couple days down there. Would I want to do that? Or would I want to be in my space? I would rather be in my space. Even if I'm cleaning my bathroom, just being in my, which really needs to be done. Just to be in my space with my toys and my tools. But a getaway would be nice. A getaway would be nice. Just for a couple days, But we'll see. We shall see. We shall see what Mr. Scale tell me when I get back. Probably be 203.2. I'll probably lose a pound. It may be 202.8. If I was 204.2 and I lose 4.3, if I lose 1.4, I'll be under 202. That's not too bad, but still, It's not too bad, but still. I'll take 202.8. I'm not sweating as much. Yesterday, after I walked, before I walked, I got on the scale, No, after I walked, I got on the scale and weighed myself. And I went in the kitchen, drank a little water, got back on the scale, gained 0.6 pounds. Gained over half a pound of drinking water. And I didn't drink that much water, I don't think. So that lets you know. That really let me know it's water weight. My sister told me that a long time ago. I knew it was water weight. A lot of it's water weight. I know. But still, I like that low number. I like that low number. That's why I don't eat before I walk or drink water. Well, I can't drink water until I eat something. Can't put water on my empty stomach. That's why I try to dehydrate myself to the point of passing out to get that low number. And like I said, if I even look at a glass of water, I'll gain a pound. That's the situation I kind of put myself in to get that low number. Everything being relative. Everything being relative. The lower the number, even if it's cheating, quote unquote cheating, the lower the number. And once I wake up and get my head together after this walk, I usually feel better. Then I go back in a better mood. You know, I'm gonna watch We Want the Funk with my mother. I say I got something we gonna watch. Yeah, we ain't gonna watch no Touch by an Angel, no Highway to Heaven, or no video about meatloaf. I want to watch something. If she go to sleep on it, I'm leaving. I wonder, or is San Diego closer to here? I wonder, is Seal Beach closer? Either way, I'm off, so I'll be able to get down there in time. But I kind of don't feel like it. I don't feel like being public Jeffrey. Even though I know damn well, once I get out around people, it's gonna make me feel better and do better and be better. I know that for a fact. But right now, I just don't have the will to, quote unquote, put myself out there. Because when I go, I just don't go. I go. When I go someplace, I just don't, when I get turned on. Even though I go and I say, all right, I'm just gonna sit in the corner and chill. Somebody gonna see me, somebody gonna say something, or I'm just gonna get excited. Just being out, the music hit, this or that, and I get turned on and turned up. And I have a good time. And I say to myself, damn, why wasn't I doing this before? I love people, I love energy. Happens every time. Surprises me just about every, well, sometimes it doesn't, but, So, gotta work stuff out. You get this disability, you're off for X amount of weeks or whatever. You turn around, it's filled up. You really don't have time to really just relax, and you got to be deliberate. You got to be deliberate about that time. You got to be deliberate. That's why I'm thinking, yeah, you got to be deliberate. You got to carve out time. You got to fight for it. Because it'll get consumed. Next thing you know, you be out these 12 weeks or whatever and ain't accomplished no healing. But I might be healing now. Maybe, just being away might be enough. But I do feel a little relieved. I'm trying to think about the phones and answering the phones and, I do feel a little relieved, but I'm nowhere near here yet. I know it's only been a week. But I'm nowhere near that yet at all. But I do feel a little relief. I don't feel like I don't hate it as much. Not that it's possible for me to even hate, but you know, it's like it doesn't affect me, or I don't resent it, or my emotion towards it is lessened. It's not as strong as it was. Just thinking about it. Because we're at a point where, whoa, hey! Tell you gotta watch them. They will run you over. People don't be looking. I definitely still got, you know, I can feel a little pressure come off. I do feel a little bit better about thinking about answering phone and stuff. And as I said, this is about fixing this so that I come back in there and do another 7 years. That's what this is about. Clearing the palate. So I did 10. Maybe I need this time off so I can get back. Do 7 more. And then maybe God willing or God forbid, I get moved to another position at the company where I don't have to answer the phones. Woo! I was just thinking about, what if I got an email, they want me to come in and interview for that position I applied for, and I get all dressed up, looking good, go in there on a Wednesday when all my coworkers is in there. And I was going through that experience in my head. I already kind of figured, did I step on that thing again? Oh my goodness. Stepped on another piece of tape. I started thinking about, you know, letting that play out in my head. I would go in there, have all the co-workers see me, looking all good, and this and that. Where you been? Where you been? You know. Jeffery out on sick leave for 6 weeks, trying to go to 12. And then, if I get 12, I go back to Ohio. I may have to get a room, get some separation. Because I'm gonna have to use that time too. I'm gonna have to use that time too to heal. But we'll see. We'll see. Then I come back, go right back to the regiment with my mother. See it? And it may be a good thing that I don't have all this time completely free. It might be a good thing. It might be a good thing that I just don't have, I have some pull or a little bit of something to bump up against, or something to have to work through. There's no doubt about that. That could be a good thing. Something that I have to actively navigate or whatever, to where I just can't completely just be left alone for 6 weeks with nothing. Woo. And if there's anything more noble, you use the word noble, and taking care of your mother. That'll get you into heaven in itself. So I told my mother, I said, I'm doing this, I ain't touching you. This is getting me into heaven. This right here, this act right here, in itself, should get me into heaven. Only reason I'm doing it. Not for you. And objectivism actually condones that kind of behavior. Everything for self. And I love that. I absolutely love and believe that. Everything for self. And as I said before, self does not just mean me. Self means me and the things close to me and around me that affect me, that are part of me. It's just not just me, but it's me and friends and family. It's my circle that directly affect me, directly. Anyhow, happy Friday, boys and girls. Happy Friday. Got to figure out what the day is going to be, what it's going to be about. Got to find some kind of activity or something to occupy my time and not just sit around and fantasize about going home tomorrow. I gotta stay in the moment. I gotta stay in the moment. I mean, you gotta fight it. That woman is like, oh, you're off for 6 weeks. You can stay out here all the time now. No. You gotta, she asked me, she said, did you, how's your time off going? Are you able to get some rest or whatever? I was like, no, because I've been out here. I haven't had time. And she said, well, being out here is relaxing. I'm like, no, it's not. No, it is not. It has never been. Even when you thought it was relaxing, it wasn't. You was always trying to do something. I mean, it's fun. It's not a bad thing. But relaxing is probably not the word. I really haven't had time. I've been out here. So, go Saturday. I hope to get 4 days before I have to come back out. Saturday night, Sunday night, Monday night, Tuesday night. 4 nights. And come out and stay, And it's not bad, it's just, I need time. And that's what this is for. And maybe, going through what I'm going through with her and this, the whole thing, and paperwork and this and that, maybe that's how you want to, you just don't want to crash land. Maybe just come down to a smooth landing as you things kind of handle things, dissipate things, arrange things, get things ready, and settle into a groove. Something like that. Anyway, happy Friday, y'all. Happy freaking Friday. I really should go out, but I don't feel like going nowhere. I really should go, but I don't feel like it. I even kind of bought clothes. Kinda. Sorta. Kinda, sorta. Anyhow, swinging on y'all 2 times. For me, for the phone. And for every elementary particle that has ever existed in any atom, in this or in any universe that ever was, is, or will be. The totality of it all. There can only be one. Theory of universe. Hypothesis of all as one. My name is Jeffery.